Welcome to my English podcast.
Learn, practice, and speak with confidence.
Hello and welcome back to Let's Practice English. I'm so happy you're here with me today. In this episode, we're going to do something very useful and fun together. We will practice 20 easy sentences that you can use to describe your day in English. These are real sentences that you can use every day. You do not need to memorize difficult grammar. Just listen, repeat, and feel comfortable. Imagine we are sitting together in a quiet, cozy room, maybe with a cup of tea or coffee, and we're just talking about life in simple English. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's start from the very beginning of the day. When you wake up, you can use a simple sentence. For example, I woke up at 7 o'clock. That's all you need. Try saying it after me. I woke up at 7 o'clock. Good job. Now, let's make it more personal. Maybe you wake up earlier or later. Change the time. I woke up at 6 o'clock. Or, I woke up at 8 o'clock. You can use any time that is true for you. After waking up, what do most people do? Maybe you get out of bed slowly. You can say, I got out of bed. Try it. I got out of bed. Simple, right? Let's try to say it a little faster, in a relaxed way. I got out of bed. Great. Now, what about the next thing? Many people check their phones in the morning. You can say, I checked my phone. It's very common. Try this with me. I checked my phone. If you want to add more, you can say, I checked my phone for messages. That means you looked at your phone to see if anyone sent you something. Repeat after me. I checked my phone for messages. Nice and easy. After checking your phone, maybe you stretch or wash your face. Let's use this sentence. I washed my face. Try saying it slowly. I washed my face. You can also say, I brushed my teeth. Let's try it. I brushed my teeth. Good. Let's put some of these together, like a little story. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed. I checked my phone. I washed my face. I brushed my teeth. Can you feel how natural it sounds? These are all things people do every day. When you practice like this, it starts to feel like real English, not just grammar rules. Now, after you get ready, maybe you eat breakfast. Here's another simple sentence. I ate breakfast. Or, I had breakfast. Both are good. Let's try. I had breakfast. You can also say what you ate. If you want, I had eggs for breakfast. Or, I had toast and tea for breakfast. You can use any food. Try making your own sentence now. Think about what you usually eat and say it out loud. I had for breakfast. Well done. Let's keep going. Maybe after breakfast, you need to go somewhere. For example, I went to work. Or, I went to school. Or maybe, I stayed at home. All of these are good. Say it with me. I went to work. Or, I went to school. Or, I stayed at home. You can change it for your life. Let's do a quick shadowing exercise. Listen and repeat. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed. I checked my phone. I washed my face. I brushed my teeth. I had breakfast. I went to work. Great job. If you want, you can pause after each sentence and repeat them a few times to build your fluency and confidence. Now, let's talk about the middle of the day. Maybe you want to say what you did in the morning at work or school. Here's a very easy sentence. I worked on my computer. Try it. I worked on my computer. Or, I studied English. Or, I had a meeting. Or, I talked with my friends. Simple, real, and easy. Let's do another shadowing session. Repeat each sentence after me. I worked on my computer. I studied English. I had a meeting. I talked with my friends. Good. You're doing amazing. Maybe you want to talk about your lunch. You can say, I ate lunch at 12. Or, I had lunch with my friend. Or even, I ate noodles for lunch. Try making your own lunch sentence now. Say, I had for lunch. Fill in the blank with your favorite food. After lunch, sometimes people get tired or feel sleepy. You can say, I felt tired after lunch. Or, I wanted to take a nap. This is very normal. Say with me, I felt tired after lunch. Or, I wanted to take a nap. Let's pause and check in. How do you feel? Are you comfortable? Do you feel relaxed? Remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It's about using small sentences every day and feeling good about yourself. Let's review what we have so far. Imagine your day from morning until lunchtime. Using these simple sentences, I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed. I checked my phone. I washed my face. I brushed my teeth. I had breakfast. I went to work. I worked on my computer. I had a meeting. I talked with my friends. I ate lunch at 12. You can mix, change, or add details to fit your real life. That's how English becomes real for you. Now, let's add a little rhythm. Listen and repeat these short phrases with natural pauses. I woke up, got out of bed, checked my phone, washed my face, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, went to work, worked on my computer, had a meeting, talked with friends, ate lunch at 12. Try to say it all together, like telling a friend about your day. You can even practice in front of a mirror, or record your voice to listen and feel your progress. Let's add some friendly filler words and affirmations, like how people speak in real life. For example, well, I woke up at 7. Then I got out of bed. After that, I checked my phone. I washed my face and brushed my teeth. So yeah, I had breakfast, and then I went to work. Try these casual ways. 2, they make you sound more natural. Remember, you don't have to say everything perfectly. It's okay to pause, think, and even make mistakes. Everyone does, even native speakers. The goal is to keep going, enjoy, and feel confident. Let's finish this part with a gentle affirmation. Repeat after me. I am learning English every day. I can talk about my day. I am proud of myself. Good job. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and smile. You're making real progress. When you're ready, we'll continue with more simple sentences and more practice for describing your whole day in English. Let's keep going and make your English even stronger. You've already learned how to talk about your morning and lunchtime. Now, let's talk about what happens next in your day. Remember, use simple sentences. No need for difficult words. Just imagine you're talking to a friend, telling your story one step at a time. If you ever feel nervous, take a deep breath and remind yourself, every sentence you say is a step forward. After lunch, maybe you go back to work or continue studying. Here is a very useful sentence. I went back to work. Or, I started studying again. Try saying it. I went back to work. Or, I started studying again. You can change the verb for your real life. Maybe you clean your house, so you say, I cleaned my room. Or, I did the laundry. Or, I washed the dishes. Each small activity is a great sentence. Let's do a little shadowing. Listen and repeat. I went back to work. I started studying again. I cleaned my room. I did the laundry. I washed the dishes. Nice job. Shadowing helps your brain remember and your mouth get used to the rhythm of English. Now, what if you took a break? That's also important. You can say, I took a break. Or, I had some tea. Or, I listened to music. Here's another one. I watched a video on my phone. Try saying, I took a break. Again, very natural. Let's imagine a small story with all of these. You can say, after lunch, I went back to work. I cleaned my room. I took a break and had some tea. Then, I listened to music for a few minutes. You see, it's so simple and real. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Now, maybe you have a hobby in the afternoon or after work. Maybe you like reading. You can say, I read a book. Or, I played a game. Or, I went for a walk. Try these with me. I read a book. I played a game. I went for a walk. Great. Think about what you do and make your own sentence. For example, I watched TV, or I called my friend. Sometimes, the afternoon can be busy or relaxing. Let's talk about both. If you are busy, you can say, I finished my project. Or, I answered emails. Or, I made some phone calls. If it's relaxing, you can say, I lay down for a while. Or, I looked out the window. Or, I just relaxed. Try to say what fits your day. Don't worry about being perfect, just say it simply. Now, let's try another rhythm-building exercise. Listen and repeat with natural pauses. I took a break, had some tea, listened to music, read a book, played a game, went for a walk, finished my project, answered emails, relaxed for a while. You see, your day is building up, one easy step at a time. Now, maybe in the late afternoon, you start feeling hungry. You can say, I had a snack. Or, I ate some fruit. Or, I made coffee. These are all things you can share in conversation. Try them with me. I had a snack. I ate some fruit. I made coffee. You can add more details. For example, I had an apple for a snack. Or, I drank a cup of coffee. Let's build a small story again. In the afternoon, I worked a little more. Then, I took a break and had a snack. I made coffee and listened to music. After that, I read a book and relaxed for a while. Doesn't it sound calm and natural? You can use this style to talk about your day in English with anyone. Now, let's imagine it's getting close to evening. What do you do when your work or study is finished? Maybe you go home. You can say, I came home at 6 o'clock. Or, I finished work and walked home. Or, I left the office at 6. Try these out loud. I came home at 6 o'clock. I finished work and walked home. I left the office at 6. If you stay at home, maybe you just say, I stopped working at 6. It's all real and all correct. When you get home, maybe you want to relax. You can say, I sat on the sofa. Or, I watched TV. Or, I checked my messages. Or, I talked to my family. These are very real, everyday sentences. Say them with me. I sat on the sofa. I watched TV. I checked my messages. I talked to my family. If you have children, maybe you say, I played with my kids. Or if you have a pet, I played with my dog. Simple and friendly. Let's do another quick review. With shadowing, I came home at 6 o'clock. I sat on the sofa. I watched TV. I checked my messages. I talked to my family. I played with my kids. Good job. Try to say these sentences slowly and with confidence. Don't worry about your accent or mistakes. Just speak. Now, let's practice using some natural fillers to sound more like a native speaker. Well, after work, I just came home and sat on the sofa. Then I watched TV for a while. After that, I checked my messages and talked to my family. Yeah, I played with my kids a little bit. Fillers like, well, yeah, make your English softer and more relaxed. Try adding them sometimes. Let's also talk about how you feel in the evening. Maybe you want to say, I felt tired, or I felt happy, or I felt relaxed. You can even use, I was a little bored, or I was excited. These sentences help you share your feelings, which is very natural in English. Repeat after me. I felt tired. I felt happy. I felt relaxed. I was a little bored. I was excited. You can use these feelings any time of the day. Now, let's build another story from lunch until evening, using all the sentences we learned. After lunch, I went back to work. I cleaned my room. I took a break and had some tea. Then, I listened to music. I finished my project. In the afternoon, I had a snack and made coffee. I read a book and relaxed for a while. In the evening, I came home at 6 o'clock. I sat on the sofa. I watched TV and checked my messages. I talked to my family and played with my kids. I felt relaxed. Notice how this feels like a real day. These are all easy, everyday sentences, and you can use them in any order to match your life. Let's pause for a second. How do you feel? Sometimes, learning a language can feel slow, but with every sentence you say, you get better and more confident. Even if you forget some words, just try again. The goal is to make English feel friendly, not scary. Let's do some extra practice with questions and answers. Imagine a friend asks you, "How was your day?" You can answer using the sentences you learned. It was good. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed and checked my phone. I had breakfast. Then I went to work. After lunch, I took a break, had some tea, and finished my project. I came home at 6, watched TV, and relaxed. Simple, but it covers your whole day. Let's try another practice, this time with more feelings. My day was okay. I was tired in the morning, but I felt better after breakfast. Work was busy, but I finished my project. In the evening, I felt happy to be home. I relaxed and talked to my family. You can see how adding simple feelings makes your English sound natural and interesting. If you want to practice more, you can mix and match any sentences from before. For example, I woke up at 8 o'clock. I had coffee for breakfast. I stayed at home and studied English. In the afternoon, I listened to music and read a book. In the evening, I made dinner and watched TV. I felt relaxed. You don't have to follow any special rule, just talk about your day in your own way. Let's do one more affirmation together. I am learning new sentences. I am getting better every day. I enjoy practicing English. Say it out loud and feel proud. Now, before we finish this part, let's add a few new sentences for things you might do in the evening. Maybe you cook dinner. You can say, I cooked dinner. Or, I made pasta for dinner. If you eat with your family, say, I had dinner with my family. If you eat alone, say, I had dinner by myself. You can also say, I ordered food online. Try each of these. I cooked dinner. I made pasta for dinner. I had dinner with my family. I had dinner by myself. I ordered food online. If you eat something special, just use the food name. I had pizza for dinner. Now, maybe after dinner you clean up. You can say, I washed the dishes. Or, I cleaned the kitchen. Or, I took out the trash. These are real daily actions, and saying them in English will make you feel confident. I washed the dishes. I cleaned the kitchen. I took out the trash. Very good. Let's add these evening activities to your day. In the evening, I cooked dinner. I had dinner with my family. After that, I washed the dishes and cleaned the kitchen. I sat on the sofa and watched TV for a while. I felt relaxed and happy. You can see how easy it is to build your own day in English. Now, let's end this part with one more rhythm exercise. Repeat after me, with calm pauses. I cooked dinner, had dinner with my family, washed the dishes, cleaned the kitchen, took out the trash, watched TV, felt relaxed. It's like a gentle wave. Just let your English flow. You are doing an amazing job. Every simple sentence you practice is a real step to better English. You don't need fancy grammar or difficult words. Just keep talking about your day, using these small, clear sentences. With every word, you are getting closer to your goal. Take a breath, smile, and remember, you can always come back and listen again, or make your own sentences using the words you learned. In the next part, we will practice how to end your day in English and review everything together, so you can describe your full day with confidence. Let's continue. And now, let's talk about the last part of your day, the evening and getting ready for bed. You've already learned so many easy sentences that you can use. Now, you will learn how to describe how you end your day, and how to put everything together in a natural, friendly way. Remember, this is real-life English. Every sentence is something you can really use, not just in a classroom, but with your friends or family, or even in your own journal. So, after dinner and relaxing, what do people usually do? Many people like to have some quiet time. Maybe you read a book, listen to music, or scroll through your phone. Let's practice. I read a book before bed. I listen to music in the evening. I watched some videos on my phone. Or maybe you say, I spent time on social media. Say these sentences after me, slowly and calmly. I read a book before bed. I listen to music in the evening. I watched some videos on my phone. I spent time on social media. Very good. Now, sometimes you want to call or message someone in the evening. You can say, I called my friend. Or, I talked to my mom on the phone. Or even, I sent a message to my friend. These are all normal and useful. Try them out loud. I called my friend. I talked to my mom on the phone. I sent a message to my friend. Good job. It's nice to keep your sentences real and connected to your life. Now, let's add some feelings and thoughts. Maybe you want to say, I was tired. Or, I felt peaceful. Or, I was happy to relax. These simple feeling sentences make your English more natural. I was tired. I felt peaceful. I was happy to relax. Remember, talking about your feelings is a big part of natural English. So now, you're getting ready for bed. Let's practice how to say that. Maybe you take a shower. You can say, I took a shower. Or, I washed my face before bed. Or, I brushed my teeth. These are very useful. Try them. I took a shower. I washed my face before bed. I brushed my teeth. All very simple, but very important. Maybe you put on your pajamas. Just say, I put on my pajamas. Or, I got ready for bed. Or, I turned off the lights. Try these. 2. I put on my pajamas. I got ready for bed. I turned off the lights. You can mix these with your own real habits. 2. Sometimes, people think about their day before sleeping. You might want to say, I thought about my day. Or, I made a plan for tomorrow. Or, I wrote in my journal. Try saying, I thought about my day. I made a plan for tomorrow. I wrote in my journal. These are soft, gentle ways to end your day in English. Maybe you pray or meditate before sleeping. You can simply say, I prayed before bed. Or, I meditated for a few minutes. Repeat, I prayed before bed. I meditated for a few minutes. Very good. Now, finally, you are ready to sleep. Here are a few more easy sentences. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I lay down and closed my eyes. I went to sleep. Say them with me. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I lay down and closed my eyes. I went to sleep. That's it. You have now described your whole day, from waking up to going to sleep, in very clear and real English. Let's build your whole day together, step by step. I'll say a full example, and you can repeat after me or even pause after each sentence to practice. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed. I checked my phone for messages. I washed my face and brushed my teeth. I had toast and tea for breakfast. Then, I went to work. I worked on my computer and had a meeting. I talked with my friends. I ate lunch at 12 o'clock. After lunch, I went back to work and finished my project. I took a break, had some tea, and listened to music. In the afternoon, I read a book and relaxed for a while. I had a snack and made coffee. In the evening, I came home at 6 o'clock. I sat on the sofa, watched TV, and checked my messages. I talked to my family and played with my kids. I cooked dinner and had dinner with my family. After dinner, I washed the dishes and cleaned the kitchen. I read a book before bed and listened to music. I called my friend. I took a shower, put on my pajamas, and got ready for bed. I thought about my day and made a plan for tomorrow. I went to bed at 10 o'clock and went to sleep. Now, you see how simple and powerful it is to describe your day in English. Every sentence is easy, real, and something you can use every single day. Let's do some more shadowing practice, this time with a little more speed and rhythm. Listen to the flow, and repeat after me. I woke up, got out of bed, checked my phone, washed my face, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, went to work, worked on my computer, had a meeting, talked with friends, ate lunch, went back to work, finished my project, took a break, listened to music, read a book, relaxed, had a snack, made coffee, came home, sat on the sofa, watched TV, talked to my family, cooked dinner, had dinner, washed the dishes, read a book before bed, called my friend, took a shower, put on pajamas, got ready for bed, thought about my day, went to bed, went to sleep. How does it feel? All these sentences are simple and natural. If you practice saying them every day, you will feel more and more confident. And soon, you will be able to tell your story or talk about your day in English to anyone, anywhere. Let's try adding some questions. 2. Sometimes, people will ask you, how was your day? Here are some ways you can answer, using the sentences you know. My day was good. I woke up early and had a nice breakfast. I went to work, had a meeting, and talked with my friends. In the evening, I relaxed and watched TV. I cooked dinner, cleaned the kitchen, and then read a book before bed. Now I feel peaceful. You can change the details to match your real life. Or, you can make your answer even shorter. If you are just starting, it was good. I worked, ate lunch, and relaxed at home. I went to bed early. Even with only a few sentences, you are communicating in real English. That's something to celebrate. Let's practice a real conversation. Imagine you're talking to a friend. Friend, hi. How was your day? You, hey. My day was good. I woke up at 7, had breakfast, went to work, and finished a big project. After work, I came home, watched TV, and cooked dinner. Now I'm relaxing. Friend, sounds nice. What are you doing now? You, I'm just getting ready for bed. Maybe I'll read a book or listen to music before I sleep. Practice both parts, switching between friend and you. This is how real conversation happens. Now, try telling your day in English, right now, out loud. Think about your own life. It doesn't have to be long or perfect. Even 2 or 3 sentences are great. For example, I woke up late today. I had coffee and went to school. I studied with my friends, and after that, I went home and watched TV. I'm tired now and ready for bed. See? That's your real day, in your real English. Remember, every sentence is a step forward. You can mix, match, change, and make your own. Don't worry if you forget or mix up the words. The most important thing is to try, speak, and enjoy the process. Let's finish this part with a calm, positive affirmation. Say this after me. I can talk about my day in English. My sentences are clear and real. I feel confident and calm. I am making progress every day. Smile and let yourself feel good about it. Take a moment to relax your mind and body. Learning a new language is a journey, not a race. The more you practice these sentences, the more natural and easy it will become. Remember, you can always come back to this episode, listen again, and keep building your English, one simple sentence at a time. In the next part, we'll review all 20 easy sentences to describe your day, practice even more natural conversations, and end with some gentle encouragement to keep you moving forward on your English journey. You've come so far, and now it's time to bring everything together. Let's gently review the 20 easy sentences to describe your day, so you feel confident and ready to use them anytime. I want you to listen, repeat, and really feel how natural and useful these sentences are. Remember, you don't have to memorize everything at once. Just relax and enjoy the feeling of progress. Let's start from the beginning and move through a whole day, one step at a time. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I got out of bed. I checked my phone for messages. I washed my face. I brushed my teeth. I had breakfast. I went to work. I worked on my computer. I talked with my friends. I ate lunch at 12. I took a break. I listened to music. I read a book. I came home at 6 o'clock. I watched TV. I cooked dinner. I washed the dishes. I got ready for bed. I thought about my day. I went to sleep. You did it. 20 sentences, each one simple, each one real, and each one something you can use in real life. Let's practice saying them out loud together, slowly and calmly. If you want, you can close your eyes, picture your day, and say each sentence like you're telling your own story. Now, let's practice connecting some sentences to make your English sound even more natural. For example, I woke up at 7 o'clock and got out of bed. I checked my phone for messages and then washed my face. After brushing my teeth, I had breakfast. I went to work and worked on my computer. I talked with my friends. And at 12, I ate lunch. Or another example for the afternoon and evening. After lunch, I took a break and listened to music. I read a book and later came home at 6 o'clock. I watched TV, cooked dinner, and washed the dishes. I got ready for bed, thought about my day, and finally went to sleep. Try making your own story, using these sentences and changing the details to fit your life. Remember, you can add simple fillers and feelings, just like native speakers do. Well, I woke up early today and checked my phone. After breakfast, I went to work. I was a little tired, but I finished my work and felt good. In the evening, I came home, cooked dinner, and relaxed. I thought about my day and felt proud before going to sleep. Let's do a shadowing exercise again. Listen, repeat, and keep the rhythm calm and soft. I woke up, got out of bed, checked my phone, washed my face, brushed my teeth, had breakfast, went to work, worked on my computer, talked with my friends, ate lunch, took a break, listened to music, read a book, came home, watched TV, cooked dinner, washed the dishes, got ready for bed, thought about my day, went to sleep. Now, let's go a bit deeper. Sometimes, you want to make your English more interesting by adding a few more details. Here are some easy ways. Add the time. I woke up at 7. I ate lunch at 12. Add with whom. I had breakfast with my sister. I watched TV with my family. Add what you did. I worked on a new project. I read a storybook. You can also mix two actions. I took a shower and put on my pajamas. I listened to music and wrote in my journal. It's okay to keep things simple. Even just 2 or 3 sentences are enough to describe your day. The important thing is to keep practicing and speaking. Let's imagine you want to write about your day in a journal, in English. You can use all the sentences you learned. Today was a normal day. I woke up at 7 and checked my phone for messages. I got out of bed, washed my face, and brushed my teeth. After breakfast, I went to work. I worked on my computer and talked with my friends. At 12, I ate lunch. In the afternoon, I took a break and listened to music. I read a book before coming home at 6 o'clock. In the evening, I watched TV and cooked dinner. After washing the dishes, I got ready for bed. I thought about my day and felt peaceful. I went to sleep at 10. You see, it's not difficult to talk or write about your day in English when you use simple sentences. If you want, you can make your journal shorter or longer, change the details, or add new actions. Let's practice answering some common questions. What did you do today? You can answer, I went to work, had lunch with my friend, and relaxed at home in the evening. How was your day? It was good. I worked, read a book, and watched TV after dinner. What time did you wake up? I woke up at 7 o'clock. What did you do in the evening? I watched TV, cooked dinner, and got ready for bed. These are all easy ways to keep a conversation going. If someone asks you more, you can add more details or use new sentences. Just remember, it's okay to speak slowly, pause, or use simple words. Let's finish with a friendly, supportive message for you. Please repeat after me. I am learning every day. My English is getting better. I can describe my day in simple sentences. I am calm, confident, and proud of myself. Now, before we say goodbye, I want you to remember, practice a little every day. Speak these sentences out loud. Write them in a notebook, or even talk to yourself in the mirror. The more you use these easy sentences, the more natural they will feel. You are never alone on your English journey. Every small step is important. If you ever feel stuck, come back to this episode. Listen again, repeat, and enjoy the gentle progress you are making. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you feel happy and confident. If you liked this episode, remember to subscribe to Let's Practice English for more gentle, real-life English practice. You can leave a comment about your day in simple English. I'd love to read it. Take care, be proud of your English, and I'll see you next time. Good night, and sweet dreams.